Right, let's start here. Mthatha and surroundings in the Eastern Cape have been battered by another bout of violent storms and heavy rain this week. The storms triggered widespread flooding, damaged homes and crippled electricity infrastructure. Among the hardest hit is Njemla Primary School, which has suffered extensive damage, disrupting learning and leaving classrooms in ruin. Newzroom Afrika's Liyema Vumisa is there and joins us now for an update. So, Liyema, the damage that we're seeing across many parts of Mthatha is quite extensive. Not only is some of the government institutions, a ceiling had caved in at one of the municipalities, but also now schools are also experiencing the extent of this damage.
Yeah, that's right, Katlego. Matter of fact, in our next crossing right after this, we are going to head to the main offices of the district municipality, that is Ora Tambo, just after we are done here. But right now, as you rightfully mentioned it there in your intro, that we are at the Njemla Primary School. This is in Silverton, or otherwise colloquially known here as Kwastwaye, behind Ngangelizwe, still in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape, where obviously, as you can see, whilst we are tracking the extent of the damage, and not only those infrastructure problems pertaining to your roads, electricity, and so on and so forth, but even schools as well have suffered immensely from that impact of the last night's storms, particularly, your foundation phase schools. Now, the community has come out here to at least try to pick up the pieces of what they can, especially pertaining to those textbooks. I mean, I saw children earlier on salvaging what they can as far as their personal belongings are concerned. Those would include their school bags, their textbooks, their writing books, and just all the material that they would need. Meanwhile, we understand then that the school principal has just also arrived at the premises of this particular school. Talking to him a bit earlier on, he tells me that he does not see it that these children then from the nearby community here will make it to this very same school on Monday. Of course, this comes then just, juxtaposing it to the disaster management team's response on the ground. They tell us in their statement as well that they have dispatched as many of their teams on the ground to try and assess the damage then. But joining us right now is the school principal of Njemla Primary School, just to reflect really on this extent of the damage, together with what their plans are, especially pertaining to trying to salvage not only the school property, but even the curriculum and the syllabus, seeing that we're nearing the first end of that first term. I mean, this is devastating. Not only imizi yabantu have been destroyed, but even the school itself.
Yes, of course, you can see the havoc here. We only heard about this in the afternoon yesterday, that there's something that has happened here. So I had to drive, I'm staying 40 kilometers away from here, to come and see what is happening. And then when I get here, I could see that everything is just lying around. So I don't know, but as far as I can see, we are in big trouble, and then we only depend on the department, if at all they can come up and do and what you call, and make sure that on Monday or else sometime next week we are able to be at school with the children and hit the ground running.
Yeah, I mean, what's the population of the children that you have here? From which grades do you teach? And I'm trying to ascertain whether or not it will be able then for the department, or at least yourself as management of the school, to try and find temporary shelter or accommodation for them so that they can continue with their learning. Or do you foresee that on Monday the department might actually give out an instruction to close the school temporarily, that is?
I don't know what is going to happen. Actually, I've reported to the authorities, so I just hope that they're going to do something about the situation. And I've just even spoken to one of the EDOs that I'm here at the school and the situation is dire. So we only depend on them, you see. So yeah, if we talk in terms of the the role of the school, we have about 280 kids in the school. So our school is a primary school. Yeah, I think there are only 2 classes that can be able to use. So we only depend on the department to do something that is going to save the situation.
Absolutely. Lastly, let's talk the impact. I see stationery everywhere that has been destroyed. Do you think you are going to be able to salvage some of the textbooks at least?
Sure, there's nothing that we can be able to salvage in this situation. If you're looking around, you can see that the desks, they are lying around and they are broken. So we don't have electricity. It's going to be a bad situation. Going forward, I don't know what we are going to do to save this situation or else to rehabilitate all this.
Yeah, hopefully something will try to come up in the next coming days so that the children can at least, Katlego, be able to continue with their teaching and learning. I mean, this is not just one school. We understand that in the other municipalities as well, about 40 to 80 kilometers away from here in Mthatha, this is precisely the same story and situation. Destruction, massive destruction that is. Whilst we also understand that the OR Tambo district is trying by all means to have the necessary boots on the ground, but be that as it may, given the extent of the damage, they too are, feeling the pressure and they are a bit overstretched as far as their support personnel is concerned on the ground. I mean, as you can see, this school catering for over 280 students, every single stationary item that you can think of, including the property that would be the desks that these particular learners are using. They all are destroyed, essentially. With some, Katlego, we saw them that they were flying around just as we were coming into these premises, given the fact that also those heavy winds, strong winds, that is, are still continuing to batter the OR Tambo region in its entirety, including in this particular vicinity. So really, it's just going to be a matter of hoping and praying that the disaster management teams, together with that Department of Education, especially when it concerns schools, how are they going to fast-track their response to try and at least salvage that syllabus and that curriculum for the learners?
Certainly a setback, not only in resources, but also much needed infrastructure for children that go to schools in such areas. That's Liyema Vumisa bringing us the latest in terms of what the weather has wreaked havoc in Mthatha.